I hope we find our way back. Why are you crying? Why are you crying? Tell me. Is it because you fell down?
Yeah.
How many times have you fallen down today? How many times? You fell over there, and then you fell somewhere else again, right? So how many times? 2 times.
Yeah.
I've got a really sad girl here. She's holding on to her backup Band-Aid because she fell once already, and we went to this church and they gave her a Band-Aid and they gave her 1 extra and she wants to hold on to it. Show them your Band-Aid that you're holding. Yeah. What is on it? Oh, look, it's special. It's a big Band-Aid. It's for your knee. So let me tell you about my catastrophe today. We're in the Cotswolds, which is known for natural beauty and natural beauty around us, as you can see. But I couldn't find a place. I clicked on Google Maps. It says the Cotswolds, AONB, which I think stands for natural beauty. I don't know what the AO stands for. But when I drove to that point on Google Maps, there was nothing there. Like, I couldn't park. There was no entrance. There were no grounds to walk around. So then I thought, well, let's just keep going to the closest, maybe like a park, a farm park, or a farm. And we found, I found one on Google that was called the Cirencester Farm Park. So I drove to that location, and when I pulled in, it was a school. And so I find some random guy taking his dogs out to go for a walk. I can't figure out what that spot is on my screen. I think I have to clean the camera out, the sensor or something. So what happened was I asked this guy where I could go for a walk around. I was looking for Cirencester Farm Park, and he didn't know where that was, and I didn't understand why my GPS or sat nav brought me to that place. But there is a really nice place to walk around where there's it's kind of like you go through a gate and some beautiful walk, some trees, etc. And he was trying to tell me how to drive there, and he was like, you just go down to the left, and then you take a left, and then you take a left, and again, and I was like really confused. And I think he noticed that, so then he said, or you can just park here, and I'll just point to where you can, because you can actually walk to that from this place, this school. I was like, all right, I'll do that. So we got out, he points us down the street. He's like, oh, once you get down there, you'll be able to see the church, and you just go in that direction. So we walk fairway, it's not too far, maybe just a 5-minute walk, and there's a huge clearing, and it's just gorgeous. And then you do see the church at the end. So we start walking towards that, but unfortunately it's fenced so that you can't go all the way through. We had to walk around the fence, and then we found an opening, and then that brought us to a clearing, a road, and that actually finally linked us up to this little walkway. By this point, I had to use the toilet. It was like an hour of finding this place. So I was like, okay, why don't we walk towards those buildings over there, and we should hopefully be able to find some toilets. We get there, it's like a tiny little village, and they're all residential buildings. There's no public toilets. And I asked someone walking on the street, where can I find a toilet? And she's like, oh yeah, the church is down that way. If you continue on the road, that's the town center. I was like, all right, we'll go there. On the way there, that's when this one falls and just starts freaking out crying. And then we finally get to the church, and they give us a plaster, they call them here, or a Band-Aid for her knee. And unfortunately, the toilets are on the other side of the church, and there's an organ recital going on. So I can't walk across the middle of the church because there's actually people who would be sitting behind that opening, that walkway. So we sit down at one of the seats listening to the organ recital, and I don't know if some people, or maybe you will be offended or not, but I find organ music to be one of the most boring things, especially organ recitals where it's just organ playing. So we're sitting there and just like waiting for this organist to finish his recital. He's really fantastic. It's just I don't like the music, organ music in general, unless it's like old organ music, but a lot of that stuff is just too twiddly and crazy. We finally get to use the toilet after the concert's over, and at that point I'm thinking we still have like this long walk back. We have just now begun our trip back to the car, and I hope I don't get a ticket. I hope the gate from the school isn't closed. I think it'll take us about 30 minutes to walk back, which shouldn't be bad, but I think we are walking through areas that are private property, but I figure if we walk confidently, we won't get in trouble. We're not vandalizing or anything. We're just trying to get back to our car. But you know that feeling where you're just like, oh, let's just go on a little bit further. Maybe it's around the corner. Oh, let's just keep going a little further. Maybe it's around the corner. And then you end up walking like an hour and a half away from your car. Yeah, that was us today. Pregnant lady with a toddler, with a scraped knee, who fell twice, trying to get back to the car. That's our deal. We're almost there, and I figured out what was blocking my lens, those two little spots. I can't believe it took me that long to figure that out. All I had to do was just take the lens off and just blow on the sensor a little bit. I hope you guys had a fantastic day, but this was our catastrophic day, right? Yeah. So if you guys like our videos, this is Lillian from the Postmodern family. So hit subscribe to get new videos 3 times a week. Peace!